everybody, welcome to Holy Prepared. So I guess today we're going to be talking about demons. I have a video on here that talks about someone's comment, and I had mentioned about the idea that this person was obsessed, which is not in the sense that you mean that like a dictionary definition, but a demonic definition. It is the third stage in demonic possession. And so then I had apparently who they say they're a deliverance minister, that they've had their ministry for a few years or whatever, and that there's no such thing. Well, I'm sorry, but they have no knowledge. And when I said we're not going to agree on this, they attacked my whether I was saved and things like that, which is not a good look for a minister. When someone simply doesn't agree with you. So of course I deleted their comments. It was a very rude person. I have a high doubt as whether they even have a ministry. But I did alerted me to the idea that people are unaware and don't have a lot of knowledge. Unless they've studied themselves and talked to ministers and things like that themselves the way I have, to find out exactly what entails demonic possession. Now, we talked about demons and what they are. Most people aren't aware of even what demons are. Demons are the children of the Nephilim. They have nowhere to go. They cannot go to hell. They cannot go to heaven because these things were not made for them. So at the time being, these children's spirits who are in complete servitude toward their fathers, which are the fallen angels, Lucifer, all of them, they're evil. They were born evil, and so then in the afterlife here on Earth, which where they reside, they hate us. They hate humans because we don't have the same fate as they do, I suppose. Plus, they also they go to the bidding of their masters, their fathers. So they cannot possess a person right out the box. It doesn't work like that. It's much like a disease, which is why some practitioners who are Christians often comment that some disease may be brought on by demons. So it's a one of those hair lines, you know what I mean, of like what is what, okay? And same thing with mental illness. Sometimes it's hard to tell. There are mental illnesses that end up showing that demons were involved. But there are 4 levels. Has been 4 levels discussed for over 1,000 years. Okay, I'm sorry, but it just blows my mind that someone could disagree with this. It's just like, what? Okay, so the levels are infestation or manifestation, oppression, obsession, and possession. Okay, now we all are familiar with possession and what that looks like. Go to any movie that discusses it and goes into it. That is very rare, actually. Not as rare as it used to be. Okay, so these demons have gotten much more bold in the last few years, and possession is more often than it ever has been. But it's still very hard to get possessed. You have to really go through these 4 stages for quite a while before that full manifestation of possession happens. Now, the very first level, which is infestation or manifestation, we see that all over TikTok. We see that all over YouTube. That's hauntings. Basically it's hauntings. It can be a place, a land, an possession, an article of something you have. These things can be haunted, and it's with one or more demons. Now, can a person be haunted? Yes, absolutely. It's been as far as in occult things, they all know this, okay? And a person can have a spirit that goes with them. Now, like my grandfather, reflecting upon this, I think that he was haunted because he allowed it. See, this is the thing. It was with full agreement, and that's usually what it takes. It takes some kind of an agreement. Now, usually it's through deception. My grandfather was not deceived. He went into a house that had a ghost, but he thought it was funny. He named him Casper. He thought it was cute. So when they moved out of that house, the house went with him. I mean, the house went with him. The ghost went with him. Where's the house with him? The ghost went with him out of that house into their new house. That would make my grandfather haunted. When I got older, because I was raised in that house, and also another home that had a ghost. That was among my first questions to God about how all this worked. And he led me into all this information that was amazing. And I tried to exorcise. I wanted to exorcise Casper because he was a jerk. Okay, so put it that way. He was an absolute jerk, and Grandpa thought it was hilarious. Grandpa was not saved. And believe me, we tried. But he did believe in these things, which is, he was an odd duck, let's put it that way. He was one of those people that were too smart for their own good. He had an IQ that was well into the 200s, and yeah, too smart for his own good. So, he would not allow me to exorcise Casper. It was very irritating. My mother ended up becoming, rather haunted as well. Casper would often follow her in the car. She even said, I can feel him in the car with me. I mean, it was, we're talking 100 miles away. Sometimes he would manifest in my home where she would come, and then I'd have to kick him out. But it would always go back to Grandpa, that house. So yeah, it wasn't cool. I often want to go into the house now, the people who own it, and ask if they have anything going on there, because I wonder what happened to Casper once Grandpa passed. Anyway, so that's a good example of someone being haunted. And you will see in a lot of sites, they'll say that's not possible. It is very possible. Very possible. And it's not just because of Grandpa. There's lots and lots of stories of people being haunted and ghosts following them wherever they go. So sometimes you have to go through experiential knowledge as well as what's on paper. And that is a big indicator of infestation, of personal infestation, manifestation, as well as, like I said, you can see it all over TikTok, things moving, and it's happening more and more, as you will see. These videos are getting more and more. We're catching a lot of things on video for infestation, manifestation. So that's level 1. I will do this as a 4-part series, and I hope you tune in. So it gives you some knowledge. Okay. God bless.